As many of you know, I have been blessed with the gifts of a psychic. Now, some of you may not realize that those gifts have been both a burden and a blessing for me, a curse and a gift. You see, I could always help others. I could always see the futures and speak to the dead of the loved ones of others, but I could never really do it for myself. That was always the sad thing. I had a friend of mine pass only a few months ago, a great friend, a best friend. Her name was Diana Steinfeld. Have you guys heard of Diana Steinfeld? This is her in her hospital bed. This is her just a day or two before she passed. She was put into an induced coma here. Diana, unfortunately, met her demise not only too young, but in an incredibly brutal fashion. Incredibly. And we never did solve what happened to her. She, we believe, was murdered. She may have also been sexually assaulted. There's even some theories out there saying that someone tried to harvest her female reproductive parts, her sexual organs, maybe in an attempt to use them to graft them onto themselves. We're not sure. We've never been able to find this out. And you would think, myself being a medium, being a psychic, I would be able to contact Diana and find out who did this to her. If she knows, then I should know, but I've never been able to do that. Until very, very recently, I discovered something amazing. I'm not sure if this has ever happened before in the history of the internet, but I've discovered that the dead, not only can they come back, which we already knew, they can come back to their Facebook accounts, to their online social media presences. In fact, it may even be easier for them to do because, as we all know, spirits are just energy. Everything is energy. And certainly the internet is energy. So I recently joined, as some of you may know, a psychic Facebook group. I've made some posts in our Facebook group over at PODAWFUL.com/cult. You can join our Facebook group, and I recommend you do, because you can keep up with all the things going on with the show that way. And I joined this psychic group, and you've seen I've been helping people in a spiritual sense. And while I was in there, a miracle happened. Diana came back. I couldn't believe it. I mean, at first, but after speaking to her, I realized this is definitely her. There were doubters, though. And the odd thing is, the people doubting her return were not people who knew her in this reality like I did. They were complete strangers. There was one woman in particular, a woman named Mallory Peck. Now, she has a bit of a gift herself, but she's not quite as connected, not quite as attuned to the spiritual realm as I am, but she was drawn to Diana immediately, like a snap. And she was so worried that she saw that this is the profile of a dead girl. It says on Diana's profile page that she's dead. All of her friends went there to mourn her. She thought somebody was using Diana's profile, hacking it, and trying to be a bad person and use a dead girl's profile. And I tried to explain to Mallory, I tried to tell her, look, I've talked to the account. It could only be Diana. She knows things only Diana would know. And at first, Mallory was a doubting Thomas, as I'm sure anyone would be. It would be nearly impossible for anybody to just believe out of hand that someone is capable of coming back from the spiritual realm into our own. But it is possible. It's 100% possible. And it happened. Diana's back, and Mallory now believes it too. Mallory has been my conduit to talk to Diana again. In fact, for some reason, Diana's spirit is drawn to Mallory. Mallory is the key to all of this. And Mallory may just help us finally figure out who killed Diana Steinfeld. Many people thought it might have been Rufio Phoenix. Some people thought it might have been Eric Martin, the bad boy of TikTok? Well, we don't know yet, but we may just have a way to finally find out. And the only way you can find out is if you're a member of the Pizza Fund. This is a preview for the full episode. Go join the Pizza Fund, $12 level and up, PODAWFUL.pizza. As for the rest of us, let's go bully the internet. This is Pod Awful.
Sorry, nigga.
I'm Tom Gully, and you're watching Is This Live, the show
This content right here
on the Pod Awful TV network.
is Pizza Fund's own.
PodAwful.pizza.
This shit is beefer. You're listening to Howdy Do with J. Crew.
PodAwful.pizza.
We got shooters in these streets.
Nigga.